to the Sundown Show. On this show, we bring you the movers and shakers of South Sudan and the world over. We engage in debates and discussions that unearth the stories behind the news. And we have our light moments too by chit-chatting about issues that affect our day-to-day life. Stay right here on the Sundown. Join in and be part of the show on iRadio, your eye on South Sudan.
أهلا ومرحبا بكم في برنامج سانداون على آي راديو. في البرنامج ده بنستضيف شخصيات بارزة ومؤثرة من جنوب السودان ومن حول العالم، وبنتحدث معهم عن القضايا اللي بتهم بلدنا وبتأثر على حياتنا. كمان بنتطرق في القصص خلف الأخبار وبنتبادل الأحاديث الخفيفة عن حياتنا اليومية. شاركونا، كونوا جزء من البرنامج فقط على آي راديو، عينك على جنوب السودان.
Hello and welcome to the Sundown Show on iRadio with me, Madrama James, together with Obacho Kushagawa, the producer of this show, and one Moses behind the social media coverage. This program comes to you Monday to Friday from 4 to 6 p.m. for comprehensive look at the daily events, the latest information, in-depth analysis, exclusive interviews, and exciting surprises. To be part of the show, call us on 0911-229-86-986 and for us a text message on 0913-986-986. If you can't access the radio, we are also on Facebook, X, YouTube, and more. You can also stream this broadcast live by logging to that's our website at www.iradio.org. Today we are starting with the calls for inclusive dialogue to end violence in the country. Well, this morning, women mediators, civil society groups, political parties, faith leaders, the Islamic Council and the media have come together with one message: enough is enough. They say their hearts are broken by the growing intercommunal violence across several states, which continue to displace women, children, the elderly, and persons with disability, leaving many without food in an already fragile situation. The group is launching a nationwide campaign to say no to violence and yes to inclusive dialogue, urging all parties to the peace agreement to choose stock over guns as the country heads towards the 2026 election. Lona James Elia, a representative of civil society, says they believe 2026 can be a year of peace if leaders create a safe environment for all citizens to participate in electoral process. First, let's listen to Lona James speaking this morning right here in Juba.
Today, in this afternoon, we converge as women mediators, civil society organization, representative from political parties, the churches, the Islamic Council, and media, and others, because our hearts are broken and we are bleeding in this country because of what is going on in the states. Most of the states currently is having intercommunal violence, and this intercommunal violence affects women, people with disability, elderly, children. They are displaced and they are running without food, even within the situation that is already volatile. And we agree that we need to come with a campaign to stop this kind of crisis, because we know that there has not been any war that is resolved through the barrel of gun. We are asking all the parties to the agreement, and we are asking all the signatories in the name of Jesus that they should say, we are saying no to violence and yes to inclusive dialogue. We need to sit down and talk, because we believe and have faith that the year 2026 is going to be a year of peace. As we usher to the election, we need to create an environment where the women, the children, the youth, people with disability can be able to organize themselves and prepare themselves for the election. And we all as group now echo and say, no to violence, yes to to inclusive dialogue.
Well, you heard it from Lorna James Leah. And also let's listen to the faith leaders, both from Islamic Council and Church Council as well. But first, from Ibrahim Awol, writer here. Let's hear from that Ibrahim.
We were in a meeting today to brainstorm on how to arrest the situation.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
We know that
أنا الشيخ إبراهيم أول بكر من المجلس الإسلامي جنوب السودان. جينا اليوم في اجتماع بتاع Women Mediators سوا مع فيس بيس وسيفل سوسايتي. الاجتماع كان عبارة عن جلسة حوارية تفاكرية بخصوص تعبئة لوقف إطلاق النار، وأيضا المناشدة من أجل الأطراف السياسية تعود للحوار وفورا. فالنقاش كان نقاش مثمر وبناء، والناس تشاركوا الآراء والأفكار حول كيف نحن نرجع الفرقاء السياسيين لطاولة الحوار، وكيف إنه الحوار يكون هو الأجندة الوحيدة بيناتنا. ونحن كفيس بيس جروب بالنادي بأنه لازم يكون وقف فوري للحرب والعنف، وأيضا عودة لطاولة الحوار الشامل اللي ما بيخلي أي زول behind.
That was Ibrahim Awol. And now from also Church Council, let's hear from them as well.
we were in a meeting today to brainstorm on how to arrest the situation. We know that the ongoing war is affecting people. It is going to affect the economy even more. We know there are no other people who are supporting our people. And if we are going to keep on fighting, there will be no agricultural activities and people will suffer. So we have decided that there must be no to violence and yes to inclusive dialogue. That is what we have agreed on as the stakeholders in the agreement, in our access. Thank you very much.
Well, you heard it all from the stakeholders, and right here, let's first take a quick break, and when we come back, that's when you will be in position to answer this question. What practical step do you consider leaders and communities should take now to stop intercommunal violence and ensure a peaceful 2026 election?
For information and entertainment, stay tuned to iRadio, your eye on South Sudan.
عزيزي مستمع إذاعة آي راديو، لما تشارك في أي موضوع على الإذاعة أرجوك تفادي تصريحات بتحرض أو بيشجع على الكراهية. إحنا بنشجع نقد بناء وآراء هادفة اللي بتهدف إلى توفير الحلول للمشاكل اللي بتواجه الدولة. إحنا ما دايرين ترويج للشائعات أو المعلومات اللي بتعتبر بأنها شائعة أو أغاويل. إحنا بندعو إلى رسائل السلام والوحدة بين مواطنين جنوب السودان. ده آي راديو، عينك على جنوب السودان.
It's a Baghdad Diamond Wenisuma iRadio على نمرة التليفون 0911-986-986 أو يرسل رسالة على نمرة 0913-986-986.
نعم، فرصة لك توالي شارك معنا زين ناس من مجال كنائس وكمان نسوين وأبواد وخلو ناس البر كمان شغالين في civil society. من بقول كفاية لمشاكلات الكل قاعد باصل في ولاية وبالذات في زمن بتاعنا باصل تدية خطوة عشان ناس بقدر شيلوا بزاد مجتمع وكمان ناس كبار عشان ينقصوا مشاكلات القاعد بيصل في داخل ولايات بتاعنا. يتباسوا مع قبيلة دي شكل مع قبيلة دا كمحل دي شكل مع محل دا وكمان دي سيخاد واحد عشان كيف جايسو سيخاد لجنوب السودان يمشي توالي في انتخابات بتاع 2026 وفي صار 12. شارك معنا دي خطوة خطوة ألتا بناشد وناس كبار وكمان مجتمع يشيلوا عشان كيف مشاكلات بتاع قبائل الكل قاعد بحاصل في ولايات المختلف ده برضو كمان يكففوا 09 وايد ولا 22 986 what practical step do you consider leaders and communities should take now to stop intercommunal violence and ensure peaceful election 2026? First caller, I radio. Marhaba. معلش ارجع تاني في 09 وايد ولا 22 986 برو كمان في فيسبوك تقدر تشارك معنا رأي بتاعك ورينا ابدا مشاكلات القاعد بحاصل في مجتمع حقنا في محلات المختلف تبيلقى قبيلة دي شكل ما قبيلة دا كوميونيتي دي شكل ما كوميونيتي داك ودي وجد الكمان بقدر ابوسو بلد عشان يمشي توالي في انتخابات ويتا بالناشط شنو من زي سلاطين من مجتمع وكمان من حكومة عشان يعملوا ويخففوا مشاكلات دي الكل. هاي راديو.
Madrama James.
Naam.
How are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
I am Kidogo.
Kitu Kidogo, where are you calling from, my brother?
I call from Checkpoint.
Go ahead.
Yeah, what I can, my contribution to say don't show.
Sundown.
Sundown. I mean. So what is taking place in South Sudan? I think that will be no resolution now this time around. We have been talking to our leaders to get peace to us and let us be free as South Sudanese. But our leaders they are forging the agreement. They don't want us to have full peace agreement in the country until when now the communal violence becomes a full-scale war to the people of South, which means the war will continue maybe until when the end will come by itself. This is God knows, because now we have so many dialogue. We have peace dialogue, and then we have the agreement itself. We have our partner there, and then we have even these African people, and the peace is still not even to come. We never see any difference for the agreement inside the Republic of South Sudan within all of that. So I think my contribution is that there is no peace in 2026, but only they are just talking about the political war in the country. So they are deceiving the nation to believe so that they continue their duty as leaders, because they forget us completely. How do you think that you still continue fighting your children as a grandfather? They have no shame. And they have no even what we call peaceful ideology among themselves. That's all.
Naam, kitu kidogo.
Lakini members kana namshi la da salam da iji by itself. Mama bukun kitu bugul kida wala kida. Kali betri jiboda.
Naam, kitu kidogo. نعم أنا كان راسالو كيتو كيدوغو يتبارف سالا في بيوت حقنا يعني في مشاكلات بان مرة ولد بيتلف مع أبوه ولا معهم لكن لسه في ديل كله ناس بيجاوبوا ناس بوغد سوا ناس بعمل هوار وسلام بيجي ثيب مالو كيتو كيدوغو بو من قال مشاكلات بتا جنوب السودان يعني ما في حلول ولو في بيت سالا أخو مع أخو بيتلف أخد ما أخد بيتلف وما رجل حقه زاد بيتلف ناس ما من داي راديو.
Madrama James.
Joseph. Good evening. How are you?
Fine, and good evening to the audio of Radio. I want to reinforce my brother Kudoko for what he's saying. That is very near to my opinion. Because when you talk about the total peace or you talk about dialogue it is the word of table. You sit on table and you talk on the issues concerned. But right now, when you go to that state, there is an ongoing war carried out by some commanders. Is it this people mediating this dialogue? They have seemed to go there to conduct those commands? Because if they are going to conclude those people who are carrying out of attack, they are supposed to come on on the table and sign the sexual facilities. That is the beginning of peace. To start to peace. We sign the sexual facilities or ceasefire. And if ceasefire is there, you also start to talk on issues concerned to be implemented later. Right now we have revitalized this agreement, and the war is interrupted. It's now on Unity State, is in Upper Nile, is in Jonglei State. Northern part of Jonglei State now is being controlled by the opposition command. And there is opposition here in Juba, which is not commanding those who are there. So what they are doing now, when they go to that table, they have that responsibility to stop that ongoing war. If they have that, they have to consult those people to sign the sexual opportunity. Later, when they come to the total peace, they will continue with this dialogue. This dialogue will not go. So if they are here in Juba and they engage on that table, and those people, they are going ahead to Juba. If that ongoing dialogue will be successful, will not be successful. We are always blaming the total peace in our country, because what these people are doing is like a project. You go to the table, some people are benefiting on discussion, and this is not. This one is not benefiting South Sudanese. What we want is something that will allow South Sudanese to move. You want to go Western Barzal, you can go. To Northern Upper Nile, you can go. Right now, you do not go to those areas. What kind of dialogue our people are carrying in Juba? Yeah, they are just use their brain, and then they sat there, and later on the war is ongoing. And later on, when you go to the table of peace outside the country, you go and pick the period which is not supposed to happen, like now 7 years without the implementation of the revitalized agreement.
All right.
What kind of agreement our people are always using?
All right. Thank
They're
you.
supposed to talk on reality. They're supposed to come on reality.
Thank you.
Come through reality.
Thank you, Joseph. According to Joseph, shallow dialogues does not bear fruits, but people should, face each other and talk the truth. And now, for those who are still opposing that, dialogue is not really a solution to South Sudan's problem. What is the way forward, according to you? Because in every society, in every setting, people can disagree, but at the end of the day, you have seen the side effect of using that barrel of guns. It has displaced women, children, loss of life, destruction, to mention but few. And at the end of the day, even our own CPA, after a war of more than even 20 years, at the end of the day, people say enough is enough, let us dialogue. Don't you say that? So what practical step this time around do you suggest the community leaders, the church talked about that the government should take in order to bring a peace? Radio.
Hello.
Naam.
Mr.
Mr. Nur.
Mark Lazarus من واو.
مرحبا كنا لازاروس.
تعليق بتاعي كده. طبعا بكلم الناس هذا بشاكل حسب الظروف. حسب الظروف يا بكلم الناس بشاكل. والبيجي فيه ليه 30. بدري طبعا هي كان هذه غابة في متابعة 30. يبدأ من سلطان سكير لسلطان كبير من عدو يعني يعملوا بريف من يعرف بعض ده سلطان ده من يعتقدها وده من يعتقدها طبعا يوم ده توجه كان الناس كان في كونفنشن يعني يوم ده عمل فيديو وده شيء كده سو 30 ده هو الناس نمرة 2 سياسة بتاعنا ده بقى فتن المواطنين عشان المواطن يعني بكره أخوه
نعم.
ده شنو ده مريكا بتاع معقولات دي بتاع سلطة يوم واحد ما بجنوبي وقت البعض ما بجنوبي بقابل جنوبي دول بقول من واونا لا ده مشي بيجي ويمشي تمرة ويمشي لا كفوي ده وين ده بقى جينا في سلطة بتاع الجيال القاعد فوق ده يابغى جاء مشاكل لازم بيرقب ناس يا أخوي سو هاي بتاعنا ده أني وكل ربنا أساسا أنا إنه ما بسياسي بقوم عشان يجي وري يا جماعة ناس يعمل كده ناس يعمل كده هذا زي بقول تكابات ده بتوضع لبنو وناس بقطعانين زي ده إنتوا بتوضع زول بسيط شاب إنتوا بتوضع إدارة البقالي مواطن يدوم يكون واعي لو بقى فتنوا مواطنين زي ده تكابات بيجي في أتويت هذا برا من الناس قاعدين في قاعدة ده برا من الناس قاعدين وناس ملون ناس منو هو نينا هنا برانا في جنوب ما تلينا ميل هذا تعبانين هذا تكابات بيجي في الصورة لو راي بتاع مواطنين 30 لازم إن هذه يوم تاني كذي ما تعمل 30 كابوا وين 30 كله عشان يلموا بمال واحد وريز كلام نومن يا جماعة الناس بيجي بتجاه كده يا جماعة الناس بيجي بتجاه 30 هذا غير موقع شباب ما سياسي
نعم لازم يعملوا شنو بيلقى في محلات يعني ذات ناس ما قاعد بيسمع يا مادي الكلام بتاع 30 سلاس السلطان بيقول لا لمشاكل لكن لسه شباب ما بيسمع كلامات ديل برو كمان
يا عبد الله ديل جاي من السياسي هناك يا اخونا عبد الله ديل جاي هناك مولو نايل الشباب كده شريف يشجع فوضى الجوال دفن فيني ابو هذا بقى دابا فيني
شكرا
ده كلامي هذا تعبني قاعدين فوق هذا فصول بتاعنا يوم ده فصلنا جنوب يكون دولة براء هذا فصول وين هذا ناس بقى تعبانين زي يوم ده ناس قاعد في غابة ناس بقى بشات زي الناس هاي بشات يا أخويا ديني هاي بتاع شاي شباب هذا بقى ما بتعيش بنات بقى لو لقوا بدين قروش بشات قروش ونسي كلام بتاع مقصودة في بيت بنات بتاعنا بقى نيجا وشياب أبوه ما عندي شغل بمشي لو شياب جسم بتاعه بقى فوق هذا راجل بمشي يعيش بنفسه شاب ولا تخيل لو شياب نفسه بقى برفع جيم بمشي يعيش بنفسه وولده قاعد تعبان بيقولوا ده نيجا الجاب نيجا ده شنو ده حسب نظام زود يا كلامي زيادة يا أخوي
شكرا أخونا لازاروس. Well, via our Facebook page, we have a comment coming in from Thom Mabil that our role as a South University citizens, we need to be united so that peace will come, and we are equally requesting our leaders to support peace initiative in our country for us to have a peaceful society or country. Thank you very much, Thom Mabil right here.
Itafi mahali btistahik tukun fiu kaligma iRadio ena takum fi Junuba Sudan.
Yes, if in case you have just joined us, you are listening to the Sundown Show on iRadio with me, Madrama James. We discuss the growing concern or called by civil society, women's group, faith-based organization, and the media for inclusive dialogue to end violence in the country. Now, the big question right here is what practical step do you consider the community leaders, talked over religious leaders, and community members as well should take now to stop intercommunal violence and ensure a peaceful 2026 election? iRadio. Yes, Ustaz Tolfuk.
Absolutely, this is Tolfuk. I read you.
Shukran.
I read one of the national and local scholars across the country. First of all, I appreciate the topic that we brought up, and I appreciate the management of iRadio. بالنسبة لسؤال انت سألت ده السؤال ده كبير وزي ما كان انت شاهد يعني حطينا حاجة يكون ترتيبها بتاع election زي ما كان في election ولا لا لازم الناس يعمل ترتيبات بتاع election والترتيبات بتاع election ده فوق المشاكلات بين شنو بين الكوميونتي لأنه الزول الداير الخرس بمشي هنا بقول يعني ما تمشي ورا الزول ده لأن الزول ده ما بعمل حاجة والزول ده كاف وبعدين لو أنت ترجع ورا لقيت الزول ده مع الزول ده قاعد في المكان واحد وبونس الحاجات الحكومية بطريقة لأنه زي ما كان زي زملان في الفاتح لأنا ما في الناشر أنا لقيت هذا وما أنا لقيت ده من أنا مشيت في الولاية أنا لقيت ما قاعد وايد في الركوبة وايد أنا فقرة ما بنزل لكن وايد زنباري زول ده يعني يتكلم على حاجات بطال والليل أنا شايف مع زول ده زول كده قال لي كده حاجات بتاع سياسيين ده انت ما بعرفين انت الناس كوميونتي لكن الزول السياسي بعرف دول سبب عشان زول ده يرجع الفرصة لكن انت زول القاعد في جرازر انت ما بعرف بقول ده حقيقة ليه انا بقول كده دارين الكوميونتي بتاعنا عشان نسيب ولا حاجات دي
تيمون بسبب كيمون بسبب كيف كده مو نعمل بيداب شنو
ايوه لو نيجي دايما نسيب ولا حاجات دي الزول عامل حاجة لو جيب دونك بتاع المويه في الاريا لازم انت تمشي ورا الزول ده لان زول يعني شايف ناس بتاعهم تعبانين وبيجيب حاجة يعاوز زول والزول اللي بيتكلم في الكشم بتاعهم ما زول لأن الزول اللي بيجيب حاجة الناقص من الكوميونتي زول ده ما دار مشاكل ده اكزامبل زول ده ما دار مشاكل لو انت دار عشان تعمل مشاكل بقول لا ما تعمل مشاكل ما دارين مشاكل الحاجة اني دارين الهرية بتاعنا اني قاعدين فوق ده عشان يكون هرية الفوق السلام ومحبة عشان الناس بتاعنا جيرانين عشان اعرف هل المكان ده مكان الناس اللي قاعدين فوق ده مكان بتاع السلام والمحبة. من الاثنين من السوشيال ميديا دائما وابدا انا قلت حاجه ريستريكشن بتاع السوشيال ميديا ده قاعد في المسؤوليه بتاع الحكومه لانه لو انت مشيت في دول المجاوره امبارح في يوغندا ده شبكه بتاع ما شغال وما حكومه وكان زمان عملوا اناونسمنت بعد 3 يوم الشبكه ده ما بين الانترنت ما بيشتغل عشان شنو الورا قاعد في الانترنت يعني كبير من القاعد في تيك.
نعم ما نفسه سيكا كان وكما شيلو بالذات في داخل جنوب السودان في سنة الفات السوشيال ميديا كان جا غفلو يلا تعالى انه ازعاج بتاع شباب وكمان جنوبين زي ده بقى حلول بكون وين
القاعد عملوا في يوغندا ما زي كان جنوب السودان كان في سنة الفات بعملوا الوزير السابق اللي هو ماسك المكوي طريقة عملوا ما قال ما داير كلهم لكن بتاع يوغندا ده بيشتغل after a week after election ليه عملوا كده؟ لأنه ما داير عشان يكون زيد المشاكل وكمان لحاجات الحكومة بعملوا لأنه الإنترنت يفوقوا الريستريكشن ده يعوى البلد ويعوى البلد التطور هسه في جنوب السودان لو كان الزول لو انت داير عشان ابدا الصفه بتاعك لازم بيقول كده تجيب لو انت الجنسيه كده ادينا رقم الجنسيه بتاعك ولو يجيب ايميل شنو زي ده لو انت تكتب على حاجه من انفورميشن تجيب المكان انت قاعد فوق ده.
نعم شكرا سديد استاذ تلفوق نودي بر فرصه لباقي جماعه.
شكرا.
نعم ده كان أستاذ تلفوق وسط تلفوق نعم مجتمع عنده دور وكمان مشاكلات الكثير قاعد بقوم في مجتمع هاجنا ده بالذات ناحية بتاع السوشيال ميديا وكنترول بتاع السوشيال ميديا ده وخما يشوف كلام ده بالذات بقول شنو هاي مدل في مشاكل تبيلقى زي الناس ما في جونغل ستيت على الناس ما في على نيل وكمان على الناس ما في تجابة غريتا بار الكزال فمجال كنايس نساء ونساليزا كمان قمصا قال كفاية لمشاكل كفاية بكشم ما بيهلو وما بيجيب كمان حلول فيعملوا شنو بيداب مجتمع يعملوا شنو سلاطين يعملوا شنو ناس كنايس يعملوا شنو عشان كيف سلام يجي مشاكل بتاع قبلية دي يوقف وناس يمشي برو كمان في انتخابات. اي راديو. نعم منو من وين؟
جيمس بانيام from Chirkas.
قدم جيمس.
يا موضوع This issue, it is a very big issue. Communal fighting. It is a position is going on ground and talk with the people. But it is rather supposed to talk to bring peace. It is talking to fight for another community. Like now, communities are for fighting between community because of their son in the government. Why? It is supposed you are a politician. You are a better than people who are not going to school. You're supposed to advise to say that fighting is good, but it is not doing in South Sudan here. The politician in South Sudan here is going to ground and make the war with the community, with his community. Why? So it is better to make a peace across the country. When you are educated, you're supposed to bring peace with your community. But you can go to the school and you are educated and bring war with your community. No. What is the difference between the educated person and normal person? Don't make differentiate. Supposed to make differentiation.
James, you are finger pointing at politicians who are really fueling the situation. Now, if you know that some politicians want to manipulate you, why do you accept?
It is because when the community fighting erupted, like now in the Borealis, there is fighting going on there. But there is no MP in the national government going to the ground to say that stop war and we talk. What is problem between you? What is problem between this community and this community? So that's why I can say that, because there is not a better politician than community.
Thank you very much, James. All right. I would like also to equally use this opportunity to recognize some of you who have taken your humble time to write to us via our Facebook page. Christopher Hudal joins us live from Akoda Kolwal. Thank you for joining us. Away from that, we have Sarah Udo that she hope all is well, and she is watching the show from Shaggy, thank you for your presence as well. We have Mawena Luangakot. Thank you for your text. Justin, thank you as well. We have Koda Kol Yak. Thank you, my brother, for your thumb up. Francis John Andriano is saying, yes, social media needs to be controlled and some other restrictions need to be put in place. Otherwise, this is a source of that conflict nowadays. So thank you, Francis John Andriano. You are always with us right here. And to those that have not really mentioned your name and you are equally watching this program, let us know where you're watching this program from. For example, we have Ngor Adeng Agor joins us live from that Atonj Dita. Keep those messages coming, but for now, let me shift my focus to the live call. Hi Radio. Hi Radio.
Hello, James.
Ayua, Sahanur.
Kevida.
Alhamdulillah.
Mag deng Jabalenga.
Gade makuna deng.
Yalla ana sema ba James. Assalam da ثم لسه مع قانون الحوار بين المواطنين والمواطنين. ناس أنا في أول سلطان بتاعي ممكن يقوم يمشي يعمل انتماع مع سلطان بتاع بوريال، ممكن يقوم يمشي يعمل سلطان مع بعض الكاونتيات، يعني يتكلموا واحد اثنين ثلاثة حاجة ده نينا ما دايرين كان نينا جيران، وانتماع بتاع السلطان ده قاعد يلم ناس كتير، شعب أو دايرينهم، النساوين أو دايرينهم، وهو بقعدوا يوم داك في كده شجرة والناس بيونسوا. ده لما الناس بيونسوا بيتبادل كده داك بنترم داك وداك بنترم داك. زمان بقر بتاعك لو ودت ما يدفتش انت بفتش في جيران لما انت بلقى بقر بتاعك ده يعني ده حوار سمي شديد. لكن هسه دايرين فقط الحوار ده اننا كلنا نجي فيه في الحوار ده ونشوف حلول بتاعه كيف. ده واحد. ويلا القانون اللي لقى شيء بتاعه السلاطين وفي اوريدي ده بكل يدين قانون زول زي ده القانون بكل سنه يجي سلاطين زي ده اللي فيه ولا عنده اللي بتاع السلطان ده كل سنه يجي يتم مع حكومه الكبير القومي دايرين شنو في غير يدهم قاعدين فيه دايرين كده ودايرين كده حكومه بمشي بطلع الحاجه ده لكن القانون بمشي بيستخدموه ده في يدين القانون القومي او القانون الموصول في الدوله يجيب القانون السلاطين ده يمشي يستخدم القانون ده هو او طرى القانون ده ما السلاطين يمشي يطروا القانون اللي عنده ما في يدين القانون العالي ده حاجه وهيك حكومه يسرع فيه هيك ده سرعه وعمل حاجه ده انا متاكد يوعى يكون واحد وبعض المشاكل الكل الموجود في الجنوب هو بضيف ما في زول عالم من القانون ليه سلطان اجي ممكن يحاسبني ممكن السلطان اجي يحاسب كل من اللي لاقي بكره ما ني بكون اخوان تاومبار ده خلاص انا عفيتك وانت عفيتني وبعد ربنا بيسهله لكن لو ما عملناه كده ما في حلول ثاني ده هو تنتل ده كله ما في تنتل في الميزان بس القانون بس هو يجيبه يكتب القانون يجي يحاسبني ويحاسبك وبعد الحاجات دي كله الحكومه بتجيبه لو سلطان حاجه ده ما في وبيجي بس الحكومه القومي ده حاجه ده ما في المواطنين دايرين حاجه ده هذا في سلطانات قاعد يجي ما في 30 قاعد يجي تمام مثلا 30 لو جاب يجي يعمل كما يقطع وده ويمشي في ولايه بتاعه ما فاهمين حاجه غير الحكم ممكن ينادي 30 بتاعه من جابوا يحيي سوق 30 ده دايرين شنو؟ كوميونتي بقول له ولا ما فزا ممكن يتم مع 30 كله دائما دي لو الناس بويد الناس الشعب ده لكن لو دول ما قاعدين يتم مع الشعب ويجي يقول شغالين على نفوذهم ده ما بيجي يتبقى بلقى يوارد ده بوم ما بوم ده ينتلابوا شنو؟ بوم ده ينتلابوا شنو؟ ده درجة المدقة بتاع المويه قاعدين يدقوا ده قاعد يجيب مشاكل لو السلطان ما واجه الناس دي مدقة الناس طلب فيهم مويه نساوينهم يشيل مويه ده هو مال وده داير مع امشي مال ده امشي اي الناس دي قاعدين يشيل مويه ده بدو شوفوا الناس دي قاعدين كيف.
شكرا جزيلا. أنا أخذ رسالتك طوال وصل الجنوبين وده بوري لنينا قال سلاطين عنده دور جدا ودور زيادة ثيبا سلاطين دل وين برضو ناسوما منهم وفي فترة دل كل من قاعد بعمل شنو هسي في مشاكلات بيجا ينتشر في مجتمع حقنا قبيلة دي ما باسر موي ما داك قبيلة دي ما بقاتا شارية قبيلة دي ما داك ومشاكلات دل كله بيهلوك وبطبي يعمل شنو طبعا مجتمع بقول كمان دي دور بتاكون يا سلاطين اي راديو.
الله
نعم
Madrama Jami.
ما بطل.
Okay. ما جون أمولة من مونيكي.
قدم أكون أمولة.
بحقيقة مدرما جامي مشاكل على داير كله ده سياسيين أو سبب فيه.
ليتا بقول سياسيين ويتا وين؟
ما يو دقيقة أنا جاي سياسيين أو سبب فيه. إذا كنا شفنا في على النيل الكبرى حتى في جاي في سوريا الكبرى باركازان الكبرى في مشاكل فعلا ونفس الناس اللي كان في حكومة ده ومن مشوا برا في النهاية وبقى قاعد يحارب حكومة ففي حاجات كتير بالذات الساسة ده أو السياسيين ديل من ما عنده الاثنين حاجات وطنية ما في وإرادة سياسية ما في لأنه أسبيلين بمسميات حقهم البراو ده كلهم يا دخلنا في مشاكل ما ذكرنا فيه ده ومن ياو سبب في مبادرات كتير هسه في مبادرة مجتمع مدني إدمون كان طبعا هيعمل يوم 20 وهسه في عودة كنيسة وسلاطين وكده أنا شايف ما بدي حلول لأنه زي ما أنا قلت إرادة سياسية ده ما في ده ما عايزينه بيجيب حل. بعدين أنا عايز أقول حوار الوطني كان مرور بطريقة كويس ناس جريتا باركازال أبانايل جريتا استوية كله فيه سلاطين فيه بتاع ده كله فهو خاطب جذور تا مشاكل تا جنوب السودان لكن أنا ما أعرف ليه ناس ما عايزين يعني ينفذ مخرجات تا حوار الوطني ده كان بخاطب كل مشاكل تا جنوب السودان حتى ناس البرة ده كان بيجي جوا لكن ما عايزين ينفذوا ويعني لسه ملف ده لسه قدام رئيس أنا ما أعرف ليه
في شهر 12 جنوب السودان ماشي في انتخابات وقتها بالذات بناشد شنو عشان كيف انتخابات دي يجي بسلام.
والله يا مدرما جيمس بيني وبينك انا ما اعرف ايه انتخابات دي كان بيعمل نفسه كان ده ما نغمة سياسية لا ناسا وجدنا فيه يا مدرما جيمس فايه انتخابات دي بيعمل نفسه. انا بقول تب probability إذا انتخابات دي بيعمل نفسه شعب جنوب السودان كله عارف وده اللي فيه ماذا كان فيه ده. أنا عارف بيستخدموا قروش حقنا في جنوب السودان بيشتروا مع ناس. المهم أي زول كان ده قروش ناس في السلطة ده تشيلوا قروش صوتوا لمرشح بتاعك اللي تعرف. أنا بقول كده. بعدين أنا بقول جنوب السودان ذاته هزروا من دول يعني جرام هزروا جنوب السودان. أنا بتمنى جرام كلي احتاج لنا هنا زي نفس السيناريو اللي حصل في فنزويلا ده عشان ناس تعبانين خلاص ناس تعبانين كل يا مدرما جيمس. فأنا ما عندي كتير أنا بكتفي بهذا الكلام عشان نخلي فرصة لبعض الناس المستمعين والمتصلين كمان.
شكرا جزيلا اخونا مولى. نعم الحاصل بارو كمان في فنزويلا ده جزء من خاصور قانون بارو كمان دو سلاخون ده بيجيت امريكا طبعا الناس ما فيش ناس روسيا بقول وكمان الصين وعالم بارو كمان خاقول بقول. Before we listen to that a civil society activist right here in the show, let's have a humble time and pass through some of your messages right here. A text coming in from Santo Chol joins us live from Rumbek, Ural. Is Tuti Jr. joins us live from Nairobi, Kenya. Nyadom Riak from Kampala, thank you. We have Newell Attack Newell live from Awil Town, and that may the soul of Emmanuel rest in peace. Amen. We have Ajak from northern Barazal, wow, particularly. And then Nyatut joins us live from that's Algeria and saying congratulations to iRadio. Keep those messages coming. Elijah Kang joins us live from Algeria.
This is iRadio. When contributing to a topic on the radio, please avoid statements that may incite or promote hate. We encourage constructive points of views and criticisms that aim at providing solutions to problems facing the country. We do not want rumor mongering or information that is regarded as hearsays. We advocate for messages of peace and unity among the people of South Sudan. This is iRadio, your eye on South Sudan.
Still on peace matter, civil society activist Edmond Yakani has called on the ruling SPLM party to immediately declare a ceasefire to stop ongoing fighting in parts of the country. Yakani, who is the executive director for the Community Empowerment for Progress organization, also known as SEPO, says that the call comes ahead of a joint meeting of the SPLM executive and legislative caucus scheduled for Tuesday. He described the meeting as critical for the future of peace and stability in South Sudan. Yakani is urging SPLM leaders to use the meeting to de-escalate military confrontation between the South Sudan People's Defense Forces SSPDF and the SPLM-IO. He also appealed to the SPLM-IO leadership to observe a ceasefire, warning that continued fighting contradicts President Kiir's repeated assurance that the country will not return to war. Yakani says civilians are being displaced and are now surviving in bushes without humanitarian assistance, calling the situation as betrayal of the values of independence and the duty to protect citizens. Beyond the ceasefire, Yakani wants the SPLM caucus to initiate an inclusive political dialogue involving all signatories to the revitalized peace agreement. He says dialogue, not the use of force, remain the only way to resolve political differences. On the 2026 election, Yakani says, while South Sudanese are eager to vote, credible polls cannot be held in insecure environment, he is calling for an electoral dialogue to agree on minimum conditions for peaceful and credible elections ahead of the December 2026 polls.
I would like to take this opportunity to amplify my voice loudly to the attention of leadership and membership of SPLM. SPLM holding the seat of the president and commander-in-chief in the country, SPLM deserve to be described as the ruling party in the Republic of South Sudan without any doubt or fear. Therefore, based on this analogy, as tomorrow we are aware that SPLM is holding its joint caucus meeting, that means executive and legislative meeting, and this is a serious meeting to decide the fate of peace and stability in the country. As a stakeholder, as a civil society leader, I would like to bring the following concerns to the attention of the leadership and the members of the SPLM as tomorrow they are meeting. What are we expecting them to provide us as a public information? Number one, an immediate declaration of ceasefire. We need to see the ongoing military confrontation between SSPDF and SPLIO is de-escalated through a ceasefire. And our appeal goes also to the leadership and membership of the SPLM IO and SPLA IO that ceasefire should be observed immediately. Under the leadership of His Excellency President, the country were multiple times promised that the country will never return to war. But some parts of the country are already in war. As we speak now, some of our citizens are displaced at a moment they don't have any humanitarian assistance. They are suffering in the bushes and they're questioning themselves, is this the value of the independence of the Republic of South Sudan? As we are aware as citizens, we didn't regret of having an independent South Sudan from the rest of Sudan, but we regret whereby we have been administered by politicians that have high level of political indiscipline and maturity, and they have demonstrated that by undermining unity and safety and protection of the civilians by aiding military solution to political crisis. Therefore, we are appealing to SPLM to assert that ceasefire is observed in the Republic of South Sudan in some parts of the country where we have seen already an active military confrontation going on. The second concern we bring to the attention of the SPLM for their meeting of tomorrow, we hope that members and leadership of SPLM tomorrow will commission an inclusive political dialogue to be held. As a stakeholders, we have initiated the South Sudanese to South Sudanese dialogue, which we believe it speaks to the call made by His Excellency President as the chairperson of the SPLM that South Sudanese should resolve their political differences through dialogue rather than through the barrel of the gun. But unfortunately, we have seen some members of SPLM wholeheartedly are sponsoring things that undermine the spirit and the letter of culture of dialogue, which is 1, aiding military solution, 2, political crisis, 3, standing firm and without any fear and favor, asserting political split as a strategy of portraying other political parties or weakening other political parties in the eye of the citizen. And this is the political culture of conquer and control or conquer and rule, which we are so much disturbed and surprised to see SPLM with its vision that motivates citizens of South Sudan to liberate South Sudan from the rest of Sudan because of the political culture in Sudan whereby by then South Sudanese are split up and they are conquered and they are ruled. Why should members of SPLM support the culture of political split as a strength of justifying to the citizen that we are totally different from the objective that made us establish SPLM to liberate South Sudanese from the rest of Sudan? Therefore, with respect and honor, we want to hear tomorrow that SPLM have agreed for an inclusive political atmosphere where at least minimum conditions for peaceful and credible election is reached. And one of the factors that undermine minimum conditions is the ongoing insecurity in the country, where some constituency will find it very hard to witness political activities that are associated with elections, like campaigns, like registration of voters. Therefore, if I need to go for elections, I will appeal to SPLM in their meeting of tomorrow to commission an electoral dialogue that will generate what we call as a national agreed upon good condition for holding of the election is scheduled for December 2026. We are aware that some politicians are playing tactics in using the word election while they intend to buy a time for more further extension. Election should not be discriminative. Election should not be intimidating. Election should not be used for harassing other political actors. Election should be something that unites the people of South Sudan to choose their leaders with their will, without any oppression or marginalization. Those are the messages that I would like to take this opportunity to appeal to the meeting of SPLM Joint Caucus tomorrow, to provide it as expectations of the citizen that we wish to hear from them. We have a great hope that if you take a spirit of nationalism, and if you take the spirit that informs the objective of the establishment of the SPLM for the liberation of South Sudan from the rest of Sudan, then peace, stability, safety, protection of civilians will inform your decisions of your meeting of tomorrow. And we'll all stand up with our different political identities as political parties in the country. And for us as a civil society, we'll join you political parties when you are united, because any objective of any political establishment is to unite the citizens of the country. And we as a civil society, we will stand behind you and go together with the citizen to the polling station and ensure safety, security, protection of civilians is an ultimate objective of the government of the Republic of South Sudan under your ruling system. Allow citizens to go for peaceful and credible elections without any political discontented positions. But remember, we are calling for a good enough conditions to be generated, and we are calling for dialogue, and we are calling for ceasefire. Thank you very much.
Edmond Yakani, right there. In 1 minute, what's really your reaction about Edmond Yakani's call?
For information and entertainment, stay tuned to iRadio, your eye on South Sudan. 0911-22986-986. iRadio.
Yes.
How are you?
Yes,
sir.
How are you?
Tamam, no complaint at all. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Yeah, James, do all right?
Yes.
Good to have you on board in 2 minutes or less than that. What's your take on Edmond Yakani's call?
Edmond Yakani also is buying time, calling upon the leaders who deserted what is so-called peace in South Sudan. So it is buying of time too. That's why he's making his call, so that people hear that we are having someone calling upon us, and they will not listen to it, because the parties opted the war to be the only solution for their stay in power, because they make the war now to be the way of maintaining the power. And however much we are going to call upon them, they will not listen, since they opted their own. If you talk of ceasefire, whom are they going to make ceasefire when SPLM-IO, the real SPLM-IO, that signed the revitalized peace agreement, is really put behind bars? So whom are we going here?
Now quickly, James Duer, apart from that dialogue, ceasefire, and creating conducive environment for election, what is that practical step you would want the country to take in order for us to have a peaceful 2026 election, apart from what just Yakani said? Because to you, Yakani is buying time.
Yes. To me, if they are serious about 2026 election, December 2026 election, one, they need to release all SPLM-IO members. This is number one. Two, then they immediately call for political dialogue. Then that political dialogue will result to permanent ceasefire after the result of national dialogue. These are the two options that will really lead to the election. But if these things are not, then we are just wasting time, all of us.
Thank you very much for your insight. James Duor should be my last caller for now. John, thank you for joining us from Western Barkazali State. Wow, we have Emmanuel Ihure joins us from that's Jondoru right here in Juba. Garang from Nimule, thank you. Natal from Kampala, thank you so much. Elijah Kang from Algeria. We have Baptist joins us live from the hearts of wow. Up to here, dear listener, we have come to the end of our first hour. Big thanks to Obacho Kushagawa, the producer of this show, Awan Moses and Darlington Moses, guys behind the social media coverage. I'm your host, Madrama James.